sunshine on land, they're called a bask. But if they're hanging out in the water, they're called a float. So a float of crocodiles or a bask of them. But it does look like we are entering the savanna here. I can tell that by the changing ecosystem. If you look to your right-hand side, you're going to see a pretty weird-looking tree called a baobab tree. It's also known as an upside-down tree, and you can kind of see why. Looks like its branches are roots, but they're branches. They stay leafless about 9 months out of the year in order to conserve water. That's a pretty smart idea. Usually it's pretty hot and pretty dry out here in the savanna. With that being said, we are heading on down the hill here into the Serengeti grasslands of the savanna. I've seen a couple animals off into the distance here, but we're going to wind our way through, see if we can get a little bit closer to a few of them. Oh yeah, friends. Okay, I'm actually already spotting a giraffe. It's going to be to the right-hand side as we kind of wind on up here, kind of in this cluster of trees. Oh, I think there's two of them, actually. Giraffes, they do have that same long prehensile tongue as that okapi did in the forest. Like I said, they are related. They're cousins. They'll use their long tongue to reach up and grab as many leaves off the branches of trees as possible to eat. Giraffe tongues can actually get long enough that they can reach back and lick their own eyeball. Anywhere from 16 to 20 inches long. It's pretty crazy. I don't know if they're licking their eyeballs very often, but they could if they wanted to. It does definitely help them munch on all of the leaves that are around here. One of them's kind of moving towards us, actually. But we'll pull up here, maybe get a bit of a better view for you all. Oh, to the left, looks like we've caught up with some predators up here, too. These are African wild dogs. Also known as painted dogs because of their beautiful markings on their sides. And I think they're really cute, but they're actually pretty vicious. They are one of the savanna's most successful predators. Unlike lions that'll run and jump on top of their prey, African wild dogs will just keep running until their prey gets really, really exhausted and falls over. It's a pretty good hunting strategy. They actually have about an 80% success rate in hunting in comparison to a lion's only 10% success rate. So you might think lions are pretty vicious, and they can be, but they're definitely not as good at hunting as those wild dogs are.
Oh, look at the baby.
Some beautiful giraffes here to the right hand side, including a little baby one. How cute. Looks like a couple more babies hanging out here on the left as well. Also on the left, those beautiful brown antelopes back there are sable antelopes. Actually the symbol of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. We do really love them out here. Looks like a lot of babies here. Actually, 4 of them onto the left. 3 laying down and 1 standing up by the fallen branches there. How cute. A group of giraffes is actually called a tower. It does kind of make sense. They are the tallest land animals. And even baby giraffes are born super tall. Baby giraffes are born about 6 foot tall. That's taller than me, and I'm a fully grown human. So if any of you are 6 foot tall, congratulations. You're about the same size as one of those baby giraffes we just saw. Feel pretty proud of yourself for that one. Fully grown giraffes, though, are about 16 to 20 feet tall. Baby giraffes are born while their mothers are standing up, so it's a pretty brutal first awakening into the world. They are going to be dropping about 6 foot right when they're born. They are expected to get up and start walking in about 15 to 30 minutes after their birth, so it's a pretty quick turnaround. Coming up here on the right-hand side, all these silvery gray animals that are on this hill are white-bearded wildebeests. The word wildebeest is the Afrikaans word for wild beast. Pretty similar sounding, does kind of make sense. That's not what the locals call them, though. The locals call them gnus, spelled G-N-U, after the weird sounds that they make. But they're very, very social. Their herds can get anywhere from 10 of them to 1,000 of them. They're here to the right, just one more time. And also another giraffe in that cluster of trees to the right-hand side. Just past the giraffe, those reddish-brown animals with the massive horns are Nkole cattle. Again, everyone does need to remain completely seated at all times. Also known as Watusi cattle, named after the Watusi tribe that did first domesticate them here in Africa. Nowadays, it's the Maasai people that take pretty good care of them. In the Maasai tribe, they're actually a symbol of wealth. So the more Nkole cattle you have around you, the wealthier you seem. So they're definitely taking very, very good care of those animals. Looks like there might be some animals that might be walking across the path here, so we're going to hold back for just a second. There are 3 Patterson's elands, 2 females, and then this one big gray guy, that's the male. They're very, very large antelopes, one of the world's largest antelopes. They'll be to the right here in just a second. They can get about 6 foot just from the tip of their toe to their shoulder. Very, very buff and muscly as well. You can see that especially with this male to the right. They're very agile as well. They can actually hop about 8 foot in the air from a standing position, which just for reference is about eye level with us right now. So pretty intimidating. Does help them ward off predators in that way too. You might see those Ankole cattle again here, just to the right hand side. We're gonna wind our way through here. We've gotten really lucky so far, seeing lots of really, really cool animals. I'm gonna cross my fingers, but I have some confidence that we're gonna see a lot more, so hopefully we'll keep that trend going. Oh yeah, to the right hand side, all the way back there, friends, there is an African elephant. That's a big one. He's just by himself too, so it's likely a male. Male elephants are kind of loners once they do reach adulthood. They won't really hang out with the rest of the herd, the females, the younger ones. Sometimes they do create their own herds of just males. That is called a bachelor herd. But it looks like this guy's living a pretty solitary lifestyle. There he is again, kind of facing away from us, but... You can see he's kind of slightly flapping his ears. Elephants do flap their ears to cool themselves down. It's like a personal fan for them. It's actually a really good personal fan. They can cool themselves down up to 15 degrees Fahrenheit just by flapping those ears. But as we did see that one male to our right, there is likely a herd of the females and the younger ones not too far away. So we'll keep on winding our way up here and see if we can spot some more elephants for you all. Oh, but here he is again to the right. Now, elephants, they are matriarchal, which means they're led by one single female. She's usually the oldest and the largest of the herd. She's also considered the wisest, which does make sense. That is why they follow her. So hopefully we will find that matriarch and maybe some of the younger ones up here too. Oh yeah, we're going to pull right through some red clay pits here, which is definitely a popular hangout spot for those elephants. There's actually some tusk marks here to the right-hand side, which are from those elephants. Elephants actually eat red clay for all the vitamins and minerals that it does provide for them. Well, we definitely caught up with some more here to the left. Now the sad thing is elephants are being poached in pretty high numbers for those tusks. They are made of ivory, so many people do poach them for that ivory. And it is actually estimated that about 96 elephants every single day are poached for their tusks. If you do the math, that's actually about one elephant every 15 minutes. Now that's obviously a really, really high number and a really, really sad number. It's also a super hard number to keep up with, especially as the length of an elephant pregnancy is about 22 months long. It's almost 2 years, the longest pregnancy of any mammal. Now, if you do want to help protect elephants out here, there's lots of easy ways you could do so. Very simply is by not buying ivory. Unfortunately, there is still definitely a trade for ivory going on, so if you don't buy it, you won't support that trade. Another great way to do so is actually by recycling your old cell phone and laptop batteries when you're done using them. There's a mineral in those batteries called coltan, which is found in the habitats of African elephants. So unfortunately, electronics companies are going into those habitats and basically destroying them to gain access to that coltan. That does harm those elephants as well. So if you recycle your old batteries when you're done using them, unless we'll have to go into those habitats, but way more likely we'll be able to see these elephants, these beautiful creatures, for as many years as we possibly can. Pulling around on the left-hand side, a group of greater flamingos. A group of flamingos is also known as a flamboyance, so this is a flamboyance of flamingos. They get that distinct pink color of theirs from eating a lot of brine shrimp. The shrimp is pink, so it does turn those flamingos pink. Flamingos are born naturally kind of a light gray color, but they do turn pink through all the shrimps they eat. It can take a couple years, but they can get pretty vibrant. Although the greater flamingos that you just saw are actually the lightest of the species, but they're also the tallest. We're going to keep on winding our way through here, friends. It's looking a little bit quieter in this little section of the savannah, but Hakuna Matata, no worries. We'll keep on moving, see what else we can find. quieter here, friends, but we're gonna wind our way through. If I remember correctly, we're actually gonna kind of come on our way through big cat territory. So we're gonna keep our eyes peeled for any cats that might be hanging out in this area of the reserve. Although it is a pretty hot day, so I'm guessing they might be snoozing in the shade, but we'll see if we can find anything. Oh, okay. Really hard to spot, friends, but if you look all the way up, about halfway up the hill, it's a cheetah that's lying down there. It's kind of a caramely color against the brown dirt there. It's halfway up the hill. A little bit harder to spot, though. Looks like it's snoozing. Cheetahs, they are the fastest land animals. They can go about 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 3 seconds. A quick speed does allow them to hunt during the day, unlike most other big cats. But they're definitely sprinters. They can only keep that speed for a couple seconds at a time. Oh, but we are going to see another really great view of a cat. Here to the left-hand side, there is a very sleepy lion up there. He loves that rock. It's super cool for him, so he likes to hang out there. Yeah, that's a male. He's got that big fluffy mane, and he looks pretty sleepy. Lions are inactive for most of the day. They will be sleeping or resting anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day. They're way more active at night. That's because their eyesight is much, much better at night. During the day, their eyesight's about the same as a human's, but at night, it's actually about 6 times better. Looks like there's a female lion down there, too. It is the female lions, the lionesses, that'll do most of the hunting at night. Males kind of stay back to help protect the pride. Over to the right-hand side, that's right, a couple of white rhinos. These are actually my very favorite animals that hang out on the reserve. I think they're super gorgeous. They are way more social and way more friendly than the black rhino that we saw in the forest. They hang out in larger groups called crashes, a crash of white rhinos. It's a pretty fitting name for them. They can charge about 35 miles per hour, and they're almost practically blind. So I'm sure some crashes probably do happen. But they're not actually named for their color. It's actually a mispronunciation of the Afrikaans word weit, which does mean wide, referring to their wide mouths. Now we're going to see some really cute animals here to the left-hand side in just a moment. These are going to be a couple of warthogs. I think they're cute. Also, I notice there are burrows down here as well. Warthogs are the largest of the burrowing animals. They're going to burrow and then back into their burrows, exposing their tiny little tusks to ward off predators. They're actually surprisingly light on their feet. They kind of bounce when they run. If you've ever seen the Lion King, Pumbaa bounces when he runs. They also stick their tails up in the air as kind of like a flag for their little ones to follow them when they have babies, which is kind of cute. Animators actually did spend a lot of time observing and studying warthogs so they'd get that bounce as accurate as possible when they created the Lion King 20 some odd years ago. Those beautiful white rhinos here to the right hand side once more. Absolutely love these creatures. Also to the right, those two smaller brown animals are bontoboks. Bontoboks are actually considered extinct in the wild. You're only going to see them on reserves like ours. They're really, really heavily poached for their beautiful coats, which are kind of a chocolatey brown color, but have a bit of an iridescence to them. They'll turn purple or red in the light. At one point, there was only 17 bontoboks left in the entire world. But thanks to some conservation, they are coming back in some numbers, but still only on protected lands like our reserves here. But we are leaving the savannah here and entering the last and newest area of our reserve. We did expand just a little while back, all thanks to the Disney Conservation Fund. This area is known as the Magadi Glen. Now, as this is the newest area of our reserve, lots of animals have not found their way over here just yet. Haven't realized that it is actually a safe place for them to hang out. So it's usually a bit more quiet, but let's keep our eyes peeled. Not seeing much out here in the Glen, friends. But that is okay. We did get to see a lot of really, really cool animals already. We got super lucky back in the forest. Usually those animals are really shy, so it's great to see them out and about. I love to see those white rhinos, the sleepy lions up on their pride rock. Those cute little baby giraffes. I think we saw 5 of them out there. So cute. But friends, it does look like we are approaching the edge of our reserve, which sadly does mean that our safari is almost over. But you all are always welcome back here on Harambe Wildlife Reserve and back again on Kilimanjaro safaris. Now, every safari is different. The animals do make sure of that. Kind of got to witness that firsthand with those Patterson Sealands crossing right in front of our truck. I definitely recommend coming back for another safari during a different time of the day. Many of those animals are way more active or way more vocal at night, including hyenas and those lions, like I said. So if you come back later tonight, you might have a better chance of hearing a hyena cackle or a lion roar. So come back whenever you get the chance. I can't stress enough, no two safaris are ever the same. We're going to pull on back into the village, friends, but you all are stuck with me for just a little while longer. We're going to wind our way through the village and up to that same dock that we did depart at. So any of you that did leave some of your belongings there can grab those and get on your way to your next adventure. So Kuna Matata, no worries, but thanks again for your patience. We're going to wind our way through here in just a second.